Coins Collector, the channel where pocket change turns into hidden treasure. And today we are diving into one of the most misunderstood and most searched coins in American history, the 1979 $1 coin. And some collectors believe a rare version could be worth thousands, even tens of thousands. But is any 1979 dollar really worth millions? Stay with me because what you are about to learn might completely change the way you look at your spare change. Today we are talking about the legendary 1979 dollar featuring Susan B. Anthony. This coin made history as the first United States circulating coin to feature a real woman instead of a symbolic figure like Liberty, and that alone makes it historically important. In 1979, the United States Mint released the new dollar coin to replace the large Eisenhower dollar. The design shows Susan B. Anthony on the front and the Apollo 11 insignia eagle landing on the moon on the reverse, a tribute to Neil Armstrong and the historic moon landing mission. But here is where things get interesting. Not all 1979 dollar coins are the same, and some versions are far more valuable than others. Let us break down the main types. First, the 1979 P Susan B. Anthony dollar minted in Philadelphia. Second, the 1979 D version minted in Denver. Third, the 1979 S proof coins minted in San Francisco. Most regular circulation coins from Philadelphia and Denver are very common. Millions were produced. In average circulated condition, these coins are usually worth $1 to $3. In uncirculated mint state condition, they can reach $20 to $50 depending on grade. Now here is where collectors get excited. The 1979 S proof coin has two different varieties, Type 1 and Type 2. And this difference is all about the mint mark. Type 1 has a filled S mint mark. Type 2 has a clear sharp S mint mark, the 1979 S. Type 2 proof is the key variety and it is much scarcer than Type 1. In high-grade deep cameo condition, graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, this coin can sell for hundreds, and in perfect PR70 condition, it has sold for several $1,000s at auction. But now let us address the big question. Is there a 1979 $1 coin worth millions? As of the most recent auction records, there is no confirmed 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar that has sold for millions of dollars. However, extremely rare mint errors could potentially reach very high prices. Let us talk about errors. Some collectors search for wide rim, also called near-date variety, on the 1979 P coin. In this version, the date appears closer to the rim. This variety is more valuable than the normal far date version. In uncirculated high grade condition, it can sell for several $100s, and in top certified condition, it can go above $1,000. Another valuable category is major mint errors, such as off-center strikes, double strikes, wrong planche errors, broad strikes, clipped planches. If you ever find a 1979 dollar struck on a wrong metal planche, such as a quarter or nickel planche, that coin could be worth thousands depending on condition and authentication. Condition is everything. In coin collecting, a coin graded MS67 or higher can multiply in value dramatically. That is why serious collectors send coins to PCGS or NGC for grading and authentication. Now let us imagine a scenario. If a unique experimental strike pattern error or one-of-a-kind transitional error were discovered and confirmed, it could theoretically reach six figures or more, especially if two wealthy collectors compete at auction. But as of today, no public sale has reached the $1 million mark for this coin. Compare this to legendary American coins like the 1933 Double Eagle, which sold for millions because of extreme rarity and legal history. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar simply does not have that level of rarity in standard form. However, do not underestimate the power of condition scarcity. A perfect graded MS68 business strike is extremely rare because most 1979 dollars were poorly struck and heavily bagmarked. If one appears in near flawless condition, it can command strong premiums. Here is what you should check right now. Look at the rim near the date. Is the date very close to the edge? That could be the wide rim variety. Check the mint mark. If it is an S, look closely at the shape under magnification. Is it clear and sharp? Type 2 proofs are more valuable. Inspect for doubling around letters and numbers. Check the weight. Standard. Susan B. Anthony dollars. Weight 8. 1 grams. If the weight is different, you may have an off-metal error. Examine the edge. The coin should have a reeded edge with uniform grooves. The story of the 1979 dollar is also fascinating because the public confused it with the quarter due to similar size and color. As a result, it was unpopular in circulation, which ironically preserved many in mint condition because people saved them. Over time, collector interest has grown especially for high-grade certified examples and rare varieties. So can a 1979 $1 coin change your life? For most people, the answer is no. It will likely be worth a few dollars. But if you discover a rare wide rim in high grade or a Type 2 proof in perfect condition, you could be holding a coin worth hundreds or even thousands. And if by chance you uncover a dramatic mint error authenticated by PCGS or NGC, you could be looking at a major payday. Always remember, condition, rarity, and authentication are the three pillars of value in modern coin collecting. Before you spend that 1979 dollar, check it carefully under bright light and magnification. You never know what hidden treasure might be sitting in your drawer. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar, make sure to subscribe to Coins Collector because we reveal the truth behind viral coin myths and show you what is really valuable in the world of rare coins. Now let us go even deeper into the 1979 $1 coin, because the real money in coin collecting is always hidden in the small details that most people ignore. The 1979 dollar was struck in massive numbers at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, but high-grade examples are surprisingly difficult to find because these coins were stored in large bags and transported in bulk, which caused heavy contact marks. When collectors search for top population coins, they often rely on grading reports from PCGS and NGC. These population reports show how many coins exist in each grade, and that is where the real story begins. For example, while millions of 1979 P dollars exist, only a tiny fraction reach MS67 and above. In MS68, the number becomes extremely small, and when supply is tiny and demand is strong, prices can explode. Now let us talk more about the famous wide rim variety, also called the near date. On the normal 1979 P dollar, there is a visible gap between the date and the rim. On the wide rim variety, the numbers in the date are positioned much closer to the edge, giving the coin a slightly tighter appearance. This small difference can mean a big jump in value, especially in uncirculated condition. Collectors discovered this variety after the coins were already in circulation, which means some were spent used and damaged, making high-grade examples even harder to find today. Next, we move to the San Francisco proof coins, the 1979 S proof. Type 2 Clear S mint mark is considered the key variety of the year. The S mint mark is sharp, clean, and clearly defined compared to the blob-style filled S of Type 1. Under magnification, the difference is obvious, but without a magnifier, it can be hard to tell. That is why many valuable Type 2 coins may still be sitting inside old proof sets, unnoticed. If you have an original 1979 proof set sealed in government packaging, do not break it open carelessly. Check the mint mark first and consider professional grading if it appears to be Type 2 in deep cameo condition. Now let us discuss mint errors in more detail because this is where life-changing discoveries sometimes happen. A dramatic off-center strike where part of the design is missing can attract strong collector interest. A double-struck coin where the coin was struck twice, creating overlapping images, can also be valuable. A coin struck on the wrong metal planche, for example, on a quarter or foreign planche, would be extremely rare and could sell for thousands depending on authentication and eye appeal. Another rare possibility is a mule error where mismatched dies are used, though no confirmed 1979. Susan B. Anthony Mule has reached legendary status. Like other famous mule coins, the possibility always keeps collectors searching. Speaking of famous mules, one example from a later year is the 2000 Sacagawea dollar mule that was struck with a Washington quarter obverse. These types of dramatic mint mistakes remind us that modern coins can sometimes produce shocking surprises. When comparing the 1979 dollar to truly million-dollar coins like the 1804 silver dollar or the 1933 double eagle, we must understand the difference. Those coins are rare because of extremely low surviving numbers, historical mystery, and legal controversy. The 1979 dollar was mass-produced, which limits its maximum value under normal circumstances. However, condition rarity is a powerful force. If a coin has only a handful of examples graded at the very top, and registry collectors compete fiercely, the price can climb far beyond normal expectations. Registry set competition has changed the modern coin market. Collectors building top-ranked sets on PCGS and NGC platforms often pay premium prices for the single finest known example. That is how a common coin can suddenly sell for thousands. Let us also discuss toning. Some 1979 dollars stored in original mint packaging developed. Beautiful rainbow toning. Natural attractive toning can add significant value, especially if certified and labeled as original by grading services. But beware of artificial toning and altered surfaces. Cleaning a coin even lightly can destroy its value instantly. Always handle coins by the edges and avoid polishing or wiping them. Storage matters. Use protective holders, mylar flips, or certified slabs to preserve condition. Humidity, heat, and improper handling are silent value killers. Now imagine this scenario. A collector finds a 1979 P-wide rim dollar in an old bankroll. The coin appears flawless with blazing luster and almost no contact marks. It is sent to PCGS and comes back graded MS68. The population report shows only a few coins at that level. Suddenly bidding competition begins and the price jumps into the thousands. That is how modern coins can create headlines. So while there is no verified 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar worth millions today, the possibility of discovering a rare high grade or major error keeps collectors searching every day. Coin collecting is not just about money. It is about history, design, and the thrill of the hunt. The 1979 dollar represents a turning point in American coinage, honoring Susan B. Anthony and marking a bold attempt to modernize the dollar coin. Even though it was unpopular in circulation, it has earned a permanent place in numismatic history. Before you dismiss that small dollar coin, take a second look. Check the rim, check the mint mark, check the condition, check for errors, because sometimes the smallest detail makes the biggest difference. If you want more deep research breakdowns, rare coin alerts, and honest market updates, stay connected with Coins Collector, where we separate myths from facts and help you understand the real value behind the coins in your pocket.